Playoffs, huh? They were worse than Saturday, but we did have a good game, and we have a lot of things to talk about. So let's talk about them, starting with the Heat Celtics game. What was this game? Just asking, what was this? DeLon Wright, 17 points, 5 of 5 from 3, huh? Bam Adebayo, 24 points, only 6 boards. And then the Celtics just played better than them. Like, we knew as soon as Jimmy Butler wasn't playing, we knew, right, that this was going to be like a 5-game series, 4 games. If we're being realistic, we gave them 5 just because they've scared us into giving them a game, at least because of Black Magic. They had Black Magic in this game. They were down like 32 points. They come back to like cut it to 12. When did that happen? I wasn't watching during that run because it's a 30-point game. I'm not missing anything here. Sam Hauser hit 4 threes. The Celtics as a team hit 22 threes. That's a lot of threes. They took 49 of them. The Heat only hit 12, 5 of which came from DeLon Wright. Duncan Robinson only played 15 minutes. Don't know why that's. Jaime Jaquez played pretty well. That's kind of all I have to say about this game. Like, this game was a lot of nothing. It was a 66-win team playing a without their best player. I'm shocked that it was only 20 points at the final whistle. Yeah. One funny thing to note, not that it actually means anything, but like, I forget at what point it was, but during the game, every Celtic was a positive except for Jason Tatum. And he was only a +3 at the end of it. That doesn't say much about like Jason Tatum's individual performance. He played actually pretty well. 23 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, triple-double. 7 of 18 shooting, which isn't efficient. 1 of 8 from 3, which isn't efficient. 8 of 8 from the free throw line, which is pretty good. But yeah, that's the Celtics. Then we have the Mavs and Clippers. This game was one that I thought would redeem the last one. Luka and Kyrie and Gafford and PJ, like all the Mavericks in the first half sucked, really. It was the Clippers throwing a late blitz out of the pick and roll at Luka because they knew that they like to take their time with it, that really started getting to him as far as like he had to pass out, right? And his teammates just weren't hitting their threes. PJ Washington shot 2 of 7, Maxi Kleber of 3, like as a team, 10 of 33. Also, 8 of those misses were from Luka himself. It wasn't a good performance on that front, right? It is kind of it bummed me out, right? Because this first half, we just saw Harden eat. Game 1, James Harden is legit apparently, and 28 points, 8 assists, 8 of 17 from the field. I swear to God, like 7 of those buckets came in the first half. Ivica Zubac bitched Daniel Gafford. He made him and a little goofy because he would just post up, like Ivica Zubac post ups were working. He would get just open post hooks every time down the floor for like 3 possessions in a row. What were we watching? He finished with 20 and 15. Zubats, 20 and 15. The fuck? When did Ivica Zubac like to that point where he was, I was just dumbfounded, if I'm being honest. Amir Coffey sucked. I don't know why he was starting. Like, I'd figured Norm Powell, maybe Brandon Boston, if you like want to keep the scoring off the bench. Amir Coffey wasn't good. Only played 25 minutes. Norm Powell played 30. It's like it didn't really matter that much. Also, they won by like 20 something. Yeah, this game kind of made me feel like, oh, okay, I get it. The Mavs, I'm sure the Mavs will get like, a couple of games and actually make it somewhat close, but this game was just not close in the slightest. The Clippers were very smart defensively with how they were using, either the drop coverage that they had Zubats doing at times or the late blitz that they would send on Luka at times. They were fine with selling out from PJ Washington, who shot 2 of 7, right, from 3. They were like, hey, if you want these guys to shoot, we're fine with that. And that that worked. That just worked. So Clippers only ended up winning by like 12, but it was a lot further apart than that would suggest. They got outscored by like 11 in the fourth quarter because of garbage time. Their biggest lead was 29 points. Yeah, it was cooked. Pacers Bucks was also sort of cooked for a lot of this. I'm not going to have as much to say as yesterday about most of these games, I'm realizing, because 3 of them were blowouts, including this one. I foolishly thought that the Pacers might be able to make a postseason quote unquote run. I thought they might be able to get a series here because Giannis was hurt. If Giannis was healthy, I wouldn't have picked the Pacers to win. And I still barely picked the Pacers to win. I think I said in 7 or 6. But also I wouldn't have said 7 because one of my takes before the series was, hey, if this goes 7, the Bucks will have Giannis, the Bucks will have home court advantage. The Pacers aren't winning that. And I still stand by that, but also, I don't think this is going 7 anymore. I think this is probably series to lose at this point because Dame apparently is back. Dame had 35 points in the first half. He finished with 35 points, but that first half was electric. That first half was crazy. That first half was insane, and I don't know exactly what happened between the regular season and now, but he started making his shots again. And then in the second half, they started throwing blitzes at him, but then other people were scoring. Chris Middleton finished with 23. Bobby Portis finished with 15 and 11. Chris Middleton also got 10 rebounds, so double-double from big playoff Chris Middleton. Brook Lopez finished with 11. He had a poster dunk at the ripe old age of 30 million. Malik Beasley, 9 points, 3 of 7 from deep. Pretty solid, Dame just hit his shots. The Pacers defense was Swiss cheese, as we all knew it was. I just figured that they'd actually score as well, because outside of Siakam, because Siakam had a great game. He had 36 points on 15 and 25 shooting, 13 rebounds. The only gripe you could have is they missed 5 free throws, but that didn't really matter in the grand scope of the game. They lost by 15. Miles Turner was 5 of 17. Miles Turner was horrendous in this game. He had a lot of finishes where he was under the rim, put it up, and it just didn't go. He missed 6 threes. Why are you taking 9 threes if you're Miles Turner? I know you're a good shooter. Do you really need to be taking 9 threes? Really? That's more 3-point attempts than Tyrese Haliburton had field goal attempts. And that brings me to Tyrese Haliburton. He needs to be more aggressive. I know that he's hurt. I know that he, yada yada. You can't only take 7 shots in a game if you're Tyrese Haliburton. The Pacers need you to be, if not the first option, because Pascal, the second option, right? Instead, TJ McConnell took 6 more shots than you. Miles Turner took 10 more. Aaron Nesmith took 2 more. Obi Toppin only took 1 less. You gotta shoot that thing more. You were 4 of 7. It wasn't even you were 0 of 7 or something. You only had 8 assists. If you're not going to shoot, you need to... But also, that wasn't really his fault. The Pacers just shot ass from 3. They shot 21% from 3, 8 of 38. There were a lot of potential assists in there for Tyrese that, could have easily gone in, but instead just didn't. But still, 7 shots is way too few for someone who is in all-NBA consideration. And, I know that the hamstring, he hasn't been quite the same since, but, he's been solid in the last, games, coming into the postseason. He could have shot more than that. He should have shot more than that. And if the Pacers want any shot in this series, he needs to shoot more than that. And that kind of brings me to the end of that game. So, the one close game of the night... OKC, New Orleans. The Thunder, the quote-unquote weakest 1 seed of all time, I say that jokingly, that's just the narrative that was being pushed, was an interesting game to watch because it was, the only, close game of the night, of the day. I had not been used to actually, trying to analyze what was happening in these games up until this game because I was ready to, and then they were blowouts, so why would I put a ton of thinking power into that? And in this game, it opens with Chet Holmgren, banging a 3, blocking a shot, maybe 2 shots, and the first note I had was Chet is built for these moments. And then from there, he didn't do a ton. He had 15 points, 11 rebounds, 5 blocks, which was good, but he did it on 6 of 14 shooting, and it felt a lot worse than that. He was good in this game, but you could tell, it wasn't the ideal Chet game. I think he'll be better as the series goes on, but he was doing well. The Pelicans were locking up as well. They were playing really good defense. Both teams, I think, at the half at least, both teams were under 40% from the field. The Pelicans did finish under 40% from the field. The Thunder were 43.5%. This was a very good defensive game, and not in a way where it was the Orlando Cavs series. That series is like flirting in harassment with this series. Like, this series is flirting, good defense. That one's harassment, good defense. And good golly, Miss Molly, like, this game, it was just defensive masterclasses from both teams. Like, this is the last shot of the game, but like, Cason Wallace locked up CJ McCollum. He locked him up. He shoved him into a locker, basically. CJ McCollum seemingly is a fraud. Don't take me that seriously, but like, also, why wasn't Valanciunas closing this game? Why'd they go with Larry Nance? Like, Valanciunas played pretty well in this game. He had 13 points, but 20 rebounds. He had 20 rebounds. Like, that's almost half of the amount that the Thunder had. And like, Larry Nance wasn't bad, I guess, in this game, but like, I would have closed with Val. And I'm like noted as being like a Val hater at times. So like, why? And it's coming from me, like someone who isn't like, Valanciunas is great. I don't know many people who say Valanciunas is great, but besides the point. Brandon Ingram did not shoot well, 5 of 17. He has not looked good since coming back from that injury. Like, he got benched in the play-in game against the Lakers, I think it was, because he was just playing bad. And CJ McCollum had also gotten benched in that game until Zion got hurt, and then they needed someone that could theoretically create shots, and that was, I guess, CJ McCollum. Herb Jones was really good on defense, but did not shoot well from the field or from three. 2 of 10 from the field, 2 of 8 from three. 7 rebounds, 4 assists, though. That was solid. And his defense more than made up for, like, that aspect of his game, I think. Trey Murphy was really good in this one. He had 21 points. He was the Pelicans' leading scorer. He shot 5 of 12 from 3, 8 of 18 from the field. Couple of dunks, like, we know what Trey Murphy does. Trey Murphy is great. I love Trey Murphy. He's really, really good. Yeah. Cason Wallace just locked CJ McCollum up, man. And Shea also got a couple of his calls to go. I'm not like an anti-Shea person. I'm not. He's kind of sick. Like, the way he drives, the way he just kind of ruins physics by, like, angling his shins at, 90-degree angles and whatnot is pretty fun. But also, he does get some fouls. And one of them came late-ish in the game, I think, where Larry Nance jumped and then landed, and then he jumped into Larry Nance after he had landed, and it was called a foul. And that shouldn't have been a foul. That annoys me. But also, and like, it's in a game where the Pelicans only lost by 2, so that did matter, I think. But, it is what it is. So yeah, that was a really good game. I think that this series goes the furthest of any of the, like, play-in tournament team series. Not because the Thunder are bad, just because I think the Pelicans like match up pretty well with them. And this game was close, and the others were not. It's either this one or the Knicks. Like, the Lakers and Celtics series are both sweeps for the Celtics and the Nuggets, respectively. So, and today, there are 3 series happening tonight. Magic, Cleveland, Philadelphia, New York, Denver, Los Angeles. I will be on playback for Denver, Los Angeles for sure. But besides that, I don't know if I'll be on for the first games or not. Probably the 76ers Knicks. I do want to watch that series. I'll watch like either of them regardless if I'm on stream or not. But if you want to watch me on stream, go to playback. I stream on Dom2K's channel. Don't ask me why I don't have my own and I stream on Dom's. I don't know how that happened. It just happened that way. And I'll probably be streaming with Dom, so you can come through. But yeah, that's that. Have a good one. Like, subscribe, comment, all that. If you watched until the end of the video, comment the Lakers are over party, and I'll know you watched till the end, and I would really appreciate that. So yeah, bye.